teams live in very large apartment buildings here in Seoul. The ROX Tigers moved to their own separate house, and then they put the gaming room in the basement because they are so loud as a team that they were previously when they were in apartment buildings, they were upsetting their neighbors. So they're trying to be courteous, but the ROX Tigers known for being just incredibly raucous as a team.
I mean, we can't hear them, but we can see them on camera during the game, and they definitely are yelling at each other from time to time. Always friendly yelling, going back and forth, but certainly does carry a certain volume with it. We can see, though, Pick and Ban coming out Rise LeBlanc so far from the side of the ROX Tigers, and it will be Vladimir that gets banned, so Azir not going to be taken off the table.
Interesting.
Meanwhile, it's a jungle focus heavy from SK Telecom. They banned Shen in Game 1. Will they do it again here with their last ban?
I wonder if they are worried about the Tigers potentially first picking the Shen. Sivir goes through this time also. So that should be a major pickup, one of Bang's historically best champions. And they are going to ban the Sivir.
Okay, take that one off the board.
Karma's still up.
Karma's still up. The
all the way
still
through
up.
picks and bans. And I guess it's just pick Ashe first tonight.
All right. Well, Prey has been the one that started this trend, as he does with so many champions. So he'll be trying the Ashe yet again this time, and we can see the instant hover over this Azir. And Kuro is probably being asked to be tagged out.
Yeah, well, we'll see what Kuro has in store.
I mean, I don't know if Kuro's been playing the Talia as much as Faker or Cry has been, but if he has, I mean, we saw last night the Talia really crushing it from Shy onto the Azir of Kuzan.
I tried to check that, but I actually don't know what Kuro's current ladder account is, so I could not do that before the matches.
All right, well, going to be a revisit to the Gragas here for Blank, who had a very good performance in that first one. So it's not broke, don't fix it. We'll go back to that pick, and Faker redeemed the LeBlanc, now going to be looking to redeem the Azir.
I like the strategy again, though, of the ban Nidalee and Elise and play Gragas early on that we're seeing from SKT. They get it in both sides of the draft. So onus now on Peanut to really switch things up. I think an early Trundle may be useful here.
No way.
And I don't know about this. If Kuro's going to play anything wacky, yeah, I think it's going to be Talia.
Yeah. We saw this matchup last night. We're going to see it tonight as well. Talia coming in. Now all we need is an Ohm Wrecker.
That's right. Lots of Ohm Wreckers on our split-pushing Trundles these days. Now, the Talia pick yesterday, yes, it was a Jin Air match that we saw it played in. It was Blanc in the first game playing with the Azir against the Talia of Sky. And this Talia did get solo kills.
It was Blanc.
It was Blanc in Game 1. It was Kuzan in Game 2, where Kuzan played Victor. So this game, we'll see how well Faker can do against the Talia that looked very strong yesterday against the Azir, but this is still a very new matchup at the professional level. Keep our eyes on it and see how exactly this is going to go. So Karma and Ezreal, classic picks here for SKT. Of course,
very heavy poke.
Yeah, Trundle definitely.
Well, maybe not.
Okay. Go for the Alistair again. That's a little bold before seeing what the Ashe is going to be paired with. You could have problems if it's, say, an Ashe Karma lane.
Yeah, and that's not going to get a whole lot done in a 2v2, that Alistar and Ezreal. Not a whole lot of kill pressure.
No, tough lane, to say the least. Now, Gorilla historically has played a lot of Trundle support, but he's only played it once this season.
Yeah, it's been such a staple in the top lane. I'd be very surprised if we saw that come out, but
yeah,
it is
play
it's
the
very
jungle
possible. He keeps hovering that Pantheon. That has me curious, but it is going to be the Hecarim, which means that it will be a support Trundle as well. So, wow, big front line for ROX Tigers here.
Huge.
Hecarim, Shen, and a Trundle.
Also,
that's going to be really hard to get through, but look at this. It's another Gangplank, our third GP so far. And now Duke is going to try it out.
Yeah, Duke should be able, obviously, to play the GP very well. Both Smeb and Duke, excellent laners. And we did see at least the GP start to impress us a little bit earlier this week when ADD from MVP crushed with it. So people seem to think that it is an answer in the 1v1 to Shen and has an ability at least to match the Stand United with the Cannon Barrage, so at least you have some form of global. Now, ROX Tigers here going big with the globals, Achilleos, and they should be able to make some very interesting plays. Of note is that the Talia ultimate, since it functions as a wall, Hecarim can show up and then ult over the other side of it to engage on people. So you can actually cut your own jungler off and still have him join in some of these team fights with the Onslaught of Shadows. So it does actually open up a lot of options to cut people off, try and engage yourself. Gragas can obviously get it through it as well. Body slam, but we'll see how exactly this plays out. Still 2 teleports taken by the Tigers in addition to the Stand United, and the speed of the Shen should be very interesting. And this is one of those teams that you really want to see play Talia because they are aggressive, they like to dive, and they like to make aggressive cross-map plays, so it should be exciting.
That should be. If it's anything like Game 1, I'm all on board. Let's go ahead and get right into Game 2, SKT versus ROX Tigers. All right, Mountain Drake.
All right, what I want to see, Achilleos, is Kuro riding the wall with a Shen ult on him. That's what I want to see.
That actually has a lot of potential. I didn't even think about that combination.
Yeah.
That could be pretty crazy.
It could be really crazy, especially if you follow up on, say, an Ashe arrow. Kuro going to use that threaded volley there, try and harass Faker early, but will miss. Poor Kuro.
These are very like-minded mid laners. Both of them want to build walls. One of them uses indentured servants and soldiers to do so. The other one just calls to the earth.
Is that right? So sand and earth right here we've got going on?
Yeah. I mean, technically, it makes sense that Talia wins this. She's like the firmer, more solidified rock.
Yeah, but the
Whereas
rock will
sand
just
is
go through the sand and then reform into a sand soldier, see? It's actually immune to the rocks.
Oh my God, you're correct. Huh. All right, we need a...
Can't Talia just control the sand soldiers, though? That's the better question.
We need a paper champion that can wrap Talia, can wrap himself around her, and then she can't do anything. Because if my 5th grade, or earlier than that, my kindergarten knowledge of rock, paper, scissors means anything, that's how you win that matchup.
Nice. All right. Well, hopefully Riot will sort that out eventually. I'm sure they're really excited about a paper-themed champion.
I mean, why not? Got some other weird ones in there. Gotta be running out of run out of ideas eventually.
Do they really have weird champions? I don't know if I think ripping off Avatar: The Last Airbender is weird.
What? That's not. No, come on. That's not. That's Talia.
It's
not Toph. It's Talia.
Oh, sorry.
They both begin with T, but that's where the likeness ends. Yeah, I don't know. I have nothing to say about that one.
There's nothing. There is no response. Well, we are going to get standard lanes this time, so this is going to be the test. So, as we saw in the last game, I think Hecarim's a great champion for Peanut to play against Blank because there's virtually no threat of any kind of early playmaking from him as a player. So why not just go for the super big-time scaling jungler here and then play for those team fights? And team fighting, again, pick potential absolutely huge for the ROX Tigers in this game. They have just a plethora of globals and the speed from the Hecarim to make it into the ganks. Meanwhile, SKT, Duke has been doing a good job of zoning out Smed from some of this CS, and Peanut has just taken a very long journey towards this gank.
Yes, he has, but he's going to go in, flash taunt on to Duke, who flashes away, has that barrel there, gets a little bit of damage in onto the Shed, but he is going to go down in the end of things. Peanut coming up with first blood, nicely played, getting that Hecarim rolling.
Yeah, and Peanut made a voyage all the way across the map to make that gank. So, a bit unexpected for sure. Blank going to try and steal away a crab.
Oh, Peanut's taking a lot of damage. Faker comes over the wall. course, the Ghost is not available for the Pony, but he's going to be safe. Kuro, though, getting engaged on now with the body slam. Slow coming through. He flashes out. Blank flashes forward. Kuro's going to go down. Just not where he was supposed to be.
Kuro should have flashed much earlier there. He should have flashed before that slow barrel came out. He's got a little grin on his face.
So this is how it's going to be.
He knows he done goofed. But yeah, that a little bit too aggressive positioning right there to try and save Peanut. Peanut also very close to a brush in the river while doing that scuttle crab. So easy for Blank to surprise him.
Yep, that's going to make things considerably more difficult for him. You can see he's coming back in, just going to have the double Doran's ring to start things off. Try to not lose any. CS did use that teleport, and Smeb will use his right now.
Yeah, he'll be hitting 6 relatively soon anyway.
Well, Prey going to get engaged on Wolf coming in, looking for that headbutt. Pulverize decides to go straight over onto Gorilla instead. He's still a pretty tanky Trundle, has those minions dying around him, but they'll trade back and forth. Looks like SKT are going to be coming out a little bit on top of that.
Blank found a pink ward right as it was dropped. Nice little bonus right there. Looked like they were trying to set up that pink ward. If we notice right now, Kuro is about to hit level 6. And so if he had that pink ward there's a possibility he may have been able to gank into the top lane when Prey hit 6 too. So it looked like to me they were trying to get some preemptive vision down to set up for a couple minutes down the road, but Blank will snuff out the ward right as it's placed.
And that's a nice little denial. 100 gold out the window for Kuro. Smeb trying to trade back in here with Duke, but we can see that Gangplank starting to come out on top. Has that true damage on the swings after killing the barrels. So.
Yeah. Also went for a cull, so even though he got ganked for the first blood, he decided to get a little bit greedy. Picked up the cull and it's going to be slowly scaling against Smeb.
That does give Smeb a little bit of a window then to rush to get that Sunfire Cape in and mitigate as much damage as he possibly can. But the fact that he's losing those trades out right now with just the call in the inventory for Duke is definitely a little bit worrisome. But he is the one that can make that global difference with the Stand United. Peanut now taking this.
Blank being a jerk.
Thank you very much.
And he's got a really big farm advantage over Peanut right now because of Peanut's both the gank and the recall that he had to do by running through that mid lane. So Blank doing a good job of harassing Peanut early on. And Hecarim a bit slow to start as a jungler. Looks like Peanut will be going for a Phage first. Wants to gank yet again. Still only level 4.
They see the roam down, I think, from Kuro, so Duke knows to back off. I don't think he knew about Peanut.
Hello.
Oh, here we go. You wanted it. Stand United gets used with the wall. They're going to ride that one in, and now Duke in a bad spot against 3 members. Again, a barrage is going to be used, looks like, to try to push the wave. Question is, who's going to get the kill? It will be Kuro, giving that one over to the Talia, and ROX execute another gank.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Duke did not expect the Stand United to be used on him while he was in the lane with the Shen. So, a bit tricky coming through, but Kuro finds that opportunity, and that's what, when I saw this champion come out, take a look at her kit, and you start to see these things like global speed, and you know it's going to be used at a professional level if it's even remotely viable in the laning phase.
See, now the thing is, I want to see one that is mistimed. So Talia is just jetting along trying to get to like the top lane, and then the Shen just gets booted off somewhere in the river.
Or it's even worse. I mean, if she takes damage, she gets knocked off. So she just gets hit by like an Ash arrow halfway through. It just like stops in the jungle, and then somebody trying to help gank gets killed. Could be bad.
Well, Blank is pushing in for another steal. Not going to find it this time. Throws out the cask, actually, just blindly.
It's a celebration cask.
Yeah. You got a blue buff. Congratulations.
Have some wine.
Yeah. Let's all get groggest up.
Is that what you say? Groggest up?
That's what I'm going to say on broadcast.
Okay. I'm pretty sure if Grogus can get drunk in the game, we can talk about getting drunk on stream, Achilles.
Fair enough. I guess his W is called Drunken Rage. So.
Yes. Yes, it is. It's very clear that he's drunk. Also, if you play him and his slurring of words.
He's a very economical man when it comes to joining in, though. He only wants to drink with you if you're paying for him.
That's right.
So
Well, you know he's going to drink with you if you buy it. He may also drink with you if you don't. We don't know the answer to that question.
there is a toss-up. That is true. Probably not if you're on the enemy team. Unless, actually, that's not true. Because he could probably get you really intoxicated. You can't perform, and he performs better when he's intoxicated. So, okay. It's the smart play.
So Faker doing a good job of playing around the worked ground zones with his own Sand Soldier zones to sort of limit Talia's options when it comes to farm. So Faker doing much better, looks more comfortable in this matchup than we saw Blanc yesterday when he played it into Sky. Placement of those Sand Soldiers, just deterring any kind of poke from the threaded volley.
Yep. Oh, tries to steal away the Gromp. Not going to happen. Faker, though, however, will get his blue buff. So it's going to be an immense amount of harass coming down on top of the Talia, who only has the boost of swiftness so far.
Yeah, awkward position too, because basically it's hard for her to trade right now with the threaded volley because all of the ground in front of her turret has already been worked. A bit tricky to try and poke Faker off right now. Looks like we were going into potentially an Abyssal Scepter is the next item. Usually what we've seen from a lot of these Talias, or the one Talia, a lot of these Talias, the one Talia we've seen, it's been emphasis on Rylai's as well.
These Talias.
All one guy who played it. Of course, it has been played in other regions, most notably by Rookie over in China, but it's been very limited, the Talia that we've seen, but I expect, especially when we get to patch 6.13 and later on, to see more of her.
That was just the perfect time for her to get buffed.
I forget, because I forget if I read the PBE notes for 6.14 or if it was on 6.13 that she was buffed, but there are some pretty significant buffs coming, it would appear.
Yeah. The Talia players are going to be very happy. I saw in the post-game thread from yesterday, everybody was just like, nothing to see here. Talia's fine. Not overpowered. Don't touch her, please. Onslaught of Shadows gets used, surfing in onto that Weaver's Wall. Comes Kuro, and they pick up a very swift kill onto Dookie. Yet again, just going to be giving him the Dyrus treatment down in that bottom side. Camping the hell out of him and getting Kuro ahead where they can. Because the gold he picks up from these kills is going to be very crucial in equalizing that deficit that's built up between Faker and himself. This Faker is now up quite a bit.
Yeah,
but Faker's actually going in, pushes him the wrong way. But I just tried to push him into Blank. The Stand United comes out.
Wow, what a combo!
Wow, he will actually make it out alive.
Yeah, through the steady knife, Shen isn't even able to complete his teleport right there because they kill Kuro so quickly. Kuro tried to use his flash, but Faker
comes over, but Faker is able to dash out
ready.
Just in time. He was very well prepared for that.
Had a ward.
Had the ward, yeah, near the Raptor camp, saw him coming, predicted the onslaught of shadows, and dashes away successfully. I thought that was, you know what? I should just never doubt Faker. I thought it was a misplay, pushing him in toward the tower. But Blank was there to pick up the pieces and help him solidify that kill, and Faker makes it out yet again with barely any HP remaining.
Wow, good play too on the back end of that. Just the escape yet again. He's escaped so many times with 100 or less HP so far in these games. See it once again. So back in late now, at least he's making his presence known on the opposite side of the map. So Duke has been punished for that, and you know, it's interesting. Normally you would see Shen teams try and play away from the Shen and use that Stand United, but in this game,
right in his lane.
Playing right in his lane, but you can do that because of the Talia here, because you can use the Stand United at a very short distance very effectively.
Dash Arrow gets thrown out. Wolf going to answer with his own ultimate. Will keep himself safe. Faker was there to back him up, so wasn't in much danger to begin with.
At least the Shen has gotten a respite in this bottom side. A few assists, now a nice CS lead, and that's slowing down the Trinity Force in the build of this GP. And we've seen the GP these days, and the crit, not so much a factor anymore. Usually we see Yomu's Ghost Blade after the Trinity Force. So about armor penetration and cooldown reduction with the changes to the T-Force these days.
Yep. Drake's been started up here by SKT. There's no vision from the side of ROX, and it looks like they're not even looking to check this. And now a recall coming through. Smebby's got TP top.
Yeah, ping immediately by SKT onto the teleport in the top lane, watching for that one. Somebody on that top side of the map, and so they will just pick up a Mountain Drake right now. Nice to have, especially with the speed at which you can do the Baron with the Azir.
Yeah. Very strong pickup, and now Kuro backing yet again. See what he's going to be going for in a little bit here. Has the makings of an Abyssal so far. He's actually stopped the back. There's two members of SKT wrapping around the backside. Faker has Emperor's Divide available. Kuro going to try to retreat up the top side, but here comes Faker, knocks him in. Stand United is there. Is it enough to keep him alive this time? Smeb just come through the cannon barrages there. Blank hot on the heels of this Talia. He pushes him away though, and now Gorilla arrives. Throw down the pillar. Faker is gonna fall. Gorilla finds the first kill. Onslaught of Shadows goes Peanut. He finds another one, and Wolf, with no Alistar ultimate available, will still be able to limp his way out of the fight. But a nice turnaround from the ROX Tigers.
Wow, Smeb is so fast at those Stand Uniteds. Kuro tried to outplay that one by using the Weaver's Wall there to block him off, but everybody from SK Telecom says, all right, you're away from their turret. We're happy to go towards ours in return. So a few flashes used by Faker and Wolf to try and set up that play. But
now Bray gets the arrow on to Bang. One more hit will do it. He flashes in. He gets the kill, and ROX are up 6-2.
Even with both summoners up from Bang, Duke is on the pursuit here.
Duke's chasing. Here comes a headbutt pulverize on to Bray from Wolf, who arrives just in time. They will confirm the kill. Gorilla, unable to do anything, had to use all of his summoners and his ultimate in that mid lane fight, which we'll take another look at now.
Yeah, and he already has the boulders on the other side too, waiting to explode, so a good setup here from Kuro, and they just don't quite have enough damage to burn through the Shen ult. Even though the cannon barrage goes down a little bit late, it has to be said from Duke, that could have been set up sooner and maybe positioned a little bit better on that engage. So Smeb just there faster, and then the reaction from Gorilla and Peanut to clean up the other couple of kills. Very nicely done.
Yeah, it's a good seismic shove as well, but oh, look at this Kuro getting engaged on yet again in the mid lane. Faker dashes forward, but Peanut arrives. He's really low on this Hecarim, still goes forward. Gets the heal out from Faker, who has to get out of here. Smeb not going to be able to get in range for the taunt, goes back in for Blank, who gets popped near that turret. Now Bang arriving. This could be really bad for ROX. A triple knockoff on the pulverized by Wolf. Smeb looking like he's going to go down, and he does. And ROX just sticking around too long in the mid lane. Fire back another kill over to SK Telecom, and we are just 200 gold apart on both of these teams.
Yeah, another very close early game between the teams, back and forth as each team tries to punish each other for the aggressive plays that they're making. It's been pretty successful. Duke is going to get a little bit of time here to farm out in the top side, and Duke actually used his TP to catch out Prey in the bottom side after he solo killed Bang.
Yeah, they got the mid turret off of that whole thing too.
Yeah.
So it's very nicely picked up by ROX. Now we can see Kuro coming up to this top side. The turret's going down. He's waiting for Peanut to arrive, who does have that onslaught of shadows. Here comes the ultimate, cutting him off. Duke is getting used to this trend now. Doesn't have a flash available though, and very few hopes left in the world. Cannon Barrage not going to keep him alive, and Kuro comes up with his third kill, all of which have been onto Duke.
Yeah, but they traded that kill onto Duke for a mid turret and most of the top turret also.
Yeah.
It was a pretty steep price to pay to keep the Gangplank down. They better hope that it actually pays off here. Kuro.
I mean, he's just going to keep scaling as he goes.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate for SK Telecom too, because all of the kills that they have in this game effectively are on Blank, except for that one that Duke picked up onto Prey. So that going onto the tank, all of their money, and that will make them pretty sad here as they're still trying to scale up on this Ezreal and on this GP. But Peanut is down as well. We haven't talked too much about him, but both of the Trinity Force carries in this game have been a little bit delayed, but Peanut's made up for his lack of farm with at least a few kills and assists.
205, contributing to 5 of the 7, so going to be in a good spot. They're just waiting for Duke. They are really just not a fan of this Gangplank. They gank him yet again as he tries to retreat underneath the tower. Onslaught of Shadows comes through, and they take him down. Another kill from Peanut.
Patience.
And Duke is just gotta be tilted by this point.
Well, they're very patient in the way they're dealing with Duke, right? They are making sacrifices to kill him over and over and over again. At first, it was Kuro making sacrifices on his mid lane CS to go into the bottom side.
Yeah.
Now it was a turret in the mid lane. So they're paying a price for this, and SK Telecom is exacting tribute.
Prey. Here comes Faker, one more hit will do it. He takes him down, smooth sailing over that wall, finds the kill, and now Gorilla really far forward, and Bang
He's
running up to try to find
scared.
him. Stand United gets used. They're actually going to TP in here to try to turn this one around. Wolf is the one going low. Blank now, way too far forward, will actually fall, and the end of things, Kuro finds that kill.
Going for more,
Gorilla,
too. They're two turrets deep.
Gorilla's still walking really far forward.
Here we go.
Pinces into Faker. He's still got a bunch of damage to dish out, but look at this. Looks like they're going to be able to turn this one around with a taunt. Kuro finds another kill. 2 in that fight. The rest of SKT will be able to retreat back to that tier 1 on the bottom side, but ROX, that was looking like a really bad decision. Gorilla walking that far up, taking that much damage, but they're able to turn it around. They come up with another pair of kills.
Yeah, he's already pretty tanky. And Duke's TP had just come up after Faker died, so there was no opportunity to respond except with the cannon barrage. But that play was well thought out because Gorilla's sitting here, and Wolf preemptively pops it. They're trying to get out right now, but ROX says, okay, we've got you 2 turrets deep at the moment, so let's make a play. TP use, Stand United use, we'll catch out Blank. Gorilla's not afraid at all, still gonna come in, and watch this ult from Kuro. Very good to box Faker in. Faker tries to save Wolf.
Nowhere you can go.
And gets punished for it. He could have gone up through the tri-brush right there, but he was trying to save his teammate, and he's the one who ends up going down instead.
Yep. There's also on Gorilla there on that initial engage from Wolf, interrupting the headbutt with the pillar as well. So just a good outplay by Gorilla, and then a good combo there from Kuro and his pillar. So ROX now finding themselves with twice the amount of kills as SK Telecom, but still only going to be ahead by 1.2 thousand. Of course, the majority of that will be coming from that extra turret, which is, yeah. We have engaged on the Gorilla. Bottom side actually just going to get melted. Bang finds the kill. Peanut goes deep. Does lock up Wolf. They will find the first kill there from Kuro. Emperor's Fight comes out. Peanut being taken really low. Blank goes back in. Is able to find the kill with the help of Duke as they take down the Hecarim. But the rest of SKT taking heavy losses. Smeb going to get locked up there with the taunt onto Faker. Kill comes through from Bray, and they're going to continue this one. Smeb going really low. The Mystic Shot almost kills him, but it's not enough. True Shot Barrage not there yet as well for Bang. And looks like Smeb will make it out with his life, but barely so. SKT.
Bang's still hunting for this one. He's got Smeb on a ward. Smeb, that's a really dangerous place to recall.
But he does make it out with his life. So not the worst of things. So he does get to live.
Bloody game, but it's been
a bloody series so far.
It's been entertaining. Now they catch out Gorilla here at the red buff, burst him down nearly immediately, but Wolf also takes the brunt of that punishment. Peanut also gets knocked back and then has his Onslaught of Shadows to re-engage into the back line. Smeb, a little bit caught out front here, but he's protecting Prey on the backside. Now Kuro, I'm surprised he didn't actually ride this wall through. I can't see why he didn't do that. Actually, he may have tried to ride it and he got hit by the cannon barrage. That may have happened. It was really hard to tell on the minimap what happened, but the cannon barrage was ticking a few seconds earlier. So you would have thought he would have gone in with the wall right there. But it looked like to me on the minimap he got bumped off immediately after he hopped on.
Could have been Gorilla going to be eating a bunch of these Mystic Shots to the face as they continue pushing into this mid side. Peanut finds Faker, sends him running back.
Well, Peanut's really scary now. His Trinity Force has been done for a while. It has his Cinder Hulk. He's getting into that 3K HP range Hecarim, which will have a huge effect on the late game.
Well, we are just doubling down with the Drakes tonight. So 2 Mountain in a row, 1 each now spread between both of these teams. And I believe it was a Cloud Drake that's going to be next. So
does Mountain Drake give Talia a huge buff?
It should. It really should. Like, they have a few of those hidden buffs in the game. I think Talia definitely should get one. 1 extra damage to turrets. Something like that. I mean, Azir should technically also sort of get one too, but
he's from the desert, not the mountains. Here we go.
Mountain of Sand. Talia ultimate comes through. Wolf gets locked up. It cleanses off that arrow with his own ult, but it still has nowhere to go. Didn't want to burn the flash. Just kind of writes himself off as dead, and he will fall. Smeb claiming that kill. Now Faker, who's chunked out a little bit, was powers up the Sand Soldiers, going to try to burn through this wave as best as they can to stop ROX from getting forward. Get some damage, and of course that Hecarim with the Triforce would be able to do a significant amount to these turrets. Blink goes forward, steals away the Raptor. And they will be able to hold on to that tier 2, but ROX are just getting pick after pick.
It's backing off right now. No over-aggression from the Tigers. They're much more calculated this game than we've seen them as of late. Yes, they may be on a 5 best-of-3 winning streak, but they have suffered from giving away kills and making games closer than they should have been at times. It's a much more crisp performance. Yes, there have been a lot of kills in this game, but every time it seems pretty much that the Tigers try and take a fight, they end up on the better end of it.
Yeah, we're almost at a kill per minute. 21-24. Not bad.
Well, there are like a million globals in this game too, which is also affecting the pace of it and the ability for teams to take fights.
I mean, over 1/3 of those kills are onto Duke.
I feel bad for Duke. He really couldn't do anything in this game. He has no dashes. The wall comes in behind him, and he just has to stand there, and a single tear rolls down his pirate cheek as Shen stabs him repeatedly.
Pirates don't cry.
They do if they're walled in. If they've been on land for too long.
Pirates only cry when the rum is gone.
Okay. I think they start to tear up if they've been on land for too long, and he is literally landlocked. So.
Yeah.
A landlocked pirate is a sad pirate.
I don't know if it makes him sad enough to cry, but I guess if there's anything that'll make him cry, it's the lack of rum, and then being landlocked. Of course, he just borrows some from Gragas, but Gragas is pretty selfish with that barrel unless he's trying to murder you with it.
He's also on the other team.
Oh, we go. Wolf getting engaged on, pops that Alistar ultimate yet again, but it's still taking a bunch of damage. Has to flash over the wall to safety, but here comes Speedo with the onslaught of shadows going straight to the back line. Will burn down Wolf, and Blank is going to follow suit. Faker uses the Emperor's Divide, will be able to help fire back a kill onto Kuro. They also take out Bray, and now SKT actually turning this fight on its head. Smeb way too far forward, can't get anything done. It's going to be a 3-for-2. SKT coming out on top of that one.
Yeah, I didn't exactly see how Bray died in that fight, but
Sand Soldiers.
Sand Soldiers, all right. Several of them popped over the wall, and I don't think that's how you want to play it if you're the Tigers. You bisected the team already with the ultimate, so just kill the ones that are there, because trying to go into a barrel Sand Soldier and Frost or Iceborne Ezreal combination really just plays into SKT's strengths. So we'll see how this one unfolded.
Start off really well for ROX.
Yeah, SKT actually did block the arrow with Wolf and then have to use his ultimate, but this was
pretty sure it's Sand. Oh, it's Duke on the backside actually.
All right,
him.
so this is really silly. Like leaving Prey, the poor, less than mobile 80 carry back there when you could have turned onto the members of SKT that were on the other side of the wall already, or don't take the fight at all. Just force them to use their summoner spells and back out and wait for the ult to come back up again.
Yeah, I thought he was playing further up. We can see though an engage coming out onto Faker, who takes a bunch of damage from this Hecarim, is just steamrolling his way through. Kuro not going to be able to find a connection with that worked ground or the unraveled earth. Kuro taking a bunch now for the True Shot Barrage, and Blank and Wolf are collapsing in on the sidelines. They're going to be able to close the gap, and Blank finds the kill onto the Dahlia, and now Smeb going to have to dash over the wall to safety. Should be able to make it out with his life, but SKT turning around another engage of Rox's.
Well, Duke just sitting up here all by himself, able to start to split push and really force that gangplank advantage. But yeah, speaking of, I said ROX wasn't being overly aggressive, and now they are diving way too far against a composition that is perfectly capable of kiting them and killing them under these turrets. Gragasult also diving Alistar a challenge. SKT has the perfect composition to not be dove.
Oh, arrow comes out. Oh, but it's just a little
close,
too
about half
late.
second off.
Yeah, just unable to get the pick there. And Faker will be able to retreat safely. So now gold swinging back over into favor of SK Telecom, but still a very minor amount separating these teams. But Duke with that split push is getting a good amount of farm now, stretching a firm lead over top of Smeb in that regard. Has picked up 5 kill participations, 3 killing blows, and is netting himself some very crucial items. The Maul of Mortius on its way in. Oh, and
nice.
Bang with the snipe. Nice takeaway. Gets the blue buff. That's just
impressive.
That's just throwing sand in the eyes. ROX are already down on the ground at this point.
I thought Faker was the one who threw the sand in the eyes with the...
Banks trying his hand at it.
Just grabs some sand from the Azir
throws
soldier.
It into the True Shot barrage and shoots it through them.
Okay, well, we have Dragon up in 1 second. SK Telecom going to secure vision over Baron first, so there aren't any sneaky little trades right here. See if they can create a pick. Now, ROX Tigers still have a chance to fight their way back into this game, but they need to make sure they don't overcommit and allow SKT to kite. Just use the Talia ult to bisect.
They're going to try to make a play up into this top side. Blank goes back in with a body slam to dissuade them, and now Duke's arriving, and ROX have bit off more than they can chew here. Smeb going to get knocked into the wall. Here comes the Talia riding the wave. Sets out the ultimate.
Just saving the teammate. I'm not sure that was really necessary. I think Smeb would have survived, and it was actually a big win that they used the Gragas ult already to try and pin Smeb back, but he doesn't have TP, so he actually can't recall right now.
Really? You got to be careful. It's chunked out pretty quickly over the wall by that Azir and Ezreal combination, and SKT are just posturing up near this Baron. If they can get one pick, they will go straight for this. They have the damage of the Mountain Drake and this Azir. Yeah, Map up in the front line is going to get popped up by the headbutt. Pulverize locked up by the body slam, and he's going to go down. Faker finds the kill, and that should be enough to instill the confidence for Baron in SK Telecom.
45 seconds. See if they actually are going to go for it right now. Looks like they're going to burn it down really fast.
Wolf goes back in, finds Gorilla, and they just completely decimate him. He falls. Now the Cannon Barrage used, and Duke trying to get a chase onto Prey, who will just get barely clipped by that True Shot Barrage, but this should be a pretty easy Baron by SKT, barring a magnificent steal from the side of ROX. Kuro just trying to chunk him out as best as he can. Peanut gets locked up in the headbutt pulverize yet again. Now the body slam in onto Prey, and he gets melted with the cask, knocking him back. SKT have found 3 picks. Now they will go for the Baron.
Prey has not been using his flash this game.
He was using it so well in the last one.
Yeah, he didn't use his flash when he was up against Duke. Caught off by himself in the last fight, and he didn't use it here either, even though he could see the engage coming in from Blank. So they are going to lose a Baron. SK Telecom now starting to get on a roll, and a couple small team fighting mistakes from ROX Tigers have cost them what may be game number 2.
Yeah.
Gorilla has to go in there to check it. There's no other option. They don't have the vision. Prey going to back out right here, and has to be very afraid of the barrel, so is zoned way out. Nice job by Duke. And then Peanut going to walk up here. Hawkshot sees them doing it. Wolf's going to turn onto them. Now Prey goes forward. He goes way too far forward right there. And I don't know why he was going that far forward. Just shouldn't have been there in the choke point. It will be a Dragon, Cloud Drake, taken by SK Telecom immediately after the Baron.
Yeah. SKT now, after ROX were ahead for so long, making the picks, doubling the amount of kills that SKT had. SKT are poised to take this game. Peanut goes straight into the back line, onto Bank, tries to kill him, uses the Onslaught of Shadows. Here comes Kuro. Can they finish him off? They will be able to do so. Now Duke getting engaged on up top here, gets locked up by the pillar, and he's going to fall. Peanut finds it. Faker has not been in this fight whatsoever, and ROX Tigers come right back in, making me eat my words, and they will find out 4-0. Faker, the only one left alive because he wasn't even in the fight.
I don't even know if Faker would have lived had he been in that fight, Achilleos, because it was so well set up by the Tigers. The divide and conquer is what they want. Faker fails his jump over the wall.
He does have flash available, he uses the Emperor's Divide, but he doesn't have many places to run to. Sitting in the brush now, trying to chunk out Kuro, gets something done, flashes forward, trying to get the kill, but he gets knocked back by Peanut, and he's gonna fall. That's the ace for ROX Tigers, who just blew this game wide open yet again.
Yeah, back right where they started, still a few thousand gold down, but at least they cleared the Baron buff, and they reset the game just a little bit. They should be able to get back in terms of gold with this turret, close within about 1,000. But yeah, the divide and conquer is definitely what they want in these team fights. So much better protection that time. Prey not left to himself. And so we will see the ROX Tigers get back into the game.
Still down a bit, but that gold deficit's not going to mean a whole lot. Mountain Drake, of course, on either side going to be pretty nice. And Smeb's trying to be sneaky and spotted out. Of course, Elder Dragon will be the next one spawning. But ROX surprisingly able to turn that fight around.
Yeah. See what SKT has in store. They're still... Blank has been such a jungle jerk this game, doing so many of those camps away from Peanut. See that yet again. Peanut's starting to get super tanky now. See if he builds into the dead man's plate next. What I would expect. Arrow goes out.
Goes out. It does find Duke in the backside, but he cleanses that one off with the orange and will keep himself safe for the time being. Gorilla throwing out the pillar, just trying to spot SKT on the flank. Flank goes in, finds Gorilla. They knock Prey forward. He flashes out immediately. Ember's Divide uses. Peanut goes in with the onslaught of shadows. Now Kuro riding the wave in. They're trying to work down SKT, but they're just going back and forth quite evenly. Gorilla has to get the heal from Prey. Takes a huge chunk of damage as they're just trying to turn this one around. Wolf goes in for the headbutt, but dies immediately to Prey, who is still alive. Bang! Trying to trade out, finds a kill on the Kuro, but Prey answers for it yet again. Smeb hot on the heels of Duke and Blank, trying to catch them. It's a 3 for 2 as ROX comes out on top yet again. In worst case scenario, they can just take this tier 2 in the mid.
Yeah, they're going to keep on following through with the tier 2. Prey just getting the Raptor camp right there. Had a ward, so they wanted to be able to take that and get some health regen onto Prey to make sure that he wasn't going to die to any kind of snipe attempt by Blank or Duke. But let's take a look at that team fight. Cast thrown out early, but Prey has his flash up, uses it this time. Peanut gets around the cannon barrage, not very well placed to hit very many people. Does end up hitting Kuro as he goes back in. Wolf does a very good job keeping this Prey out of the fight. First headbutting him and then absorbing all of his damage while he's in the ultimate. So that's the only reason why this fight was anywhere close, was because of the way that Wolf played it and how Prey only had that one target. But after Wolf goes down, the cleanup here by Prey, following through onto Bang, and they chase out Blank and Duke, who just don't have the necessary tools to continue fighting in a 2v3.
Yeah. Overall, just going to be the tier 2 loss outside of the kills there from SK Telecom. So not losing an inhibitor turret or an inhibitor yet, but this has enabled for ROX to close this deficit completely as they now maintain dominance in this match. Baron getting ready to spawn in 1 minute and 40 seconds.
All right, big difference now, though. Blank has Flash and Ultimate, and Prey does not have Flash. So keep an eye on that one because Blank needs to be able to kill Prey instantaneously. Likewise, no Flash onto Ezreal for just a little bit longer. And Peanut with a Ghost. And we've seen Peanut really try and select that target of Bang in the back line, take him out. But for me, it's much more about whether Prey can get the right positioning here. He's doing a ton of damage at the moment, but very vulnerable to flash casts from Blank. Doesn't have the best protection in the world because they want to use the Shen ultimate offensively to engage with either Peanut or Kuro rather than trying to kite it out with Prey. So Prey's been sort of on his own this game, more or less.
There's a moment of calm before the inevitable storm now.
And look at that. Elder Dragon and Baron spawning right at the same time.
Well, I think we know which one they're going to be fighting over. But the question is, who's going to be postured to get it? So far, ROX do have control of vision in the area of the Baron. So they are in a pretty decent spot in that regard. SKT haven't taken too many steps to get towards into that area. Wolf now starting to roam into the vicinity. But this would be such a risky play from either side without getting at least 1 or 2 picks.
Yeah, Smeb is hiding in a pink ward right now, so keep an eye on him. They don't know where Smeb is on the map at all. He was just in try and they didn't have vision. So he's setting up. They're setting up for a big engage right here. If they go into the river to get wards, SK Telecom is going to be in for a nasty surprise.
Yep. Smeb playing like a true ninja. He will get spotted as he moves into this bottom side.
Yeah, they
try to get that wave rolling.
Yeah, they see Duke going back top, and they also see that there hasn't been a commitment.
Oh,
Here we go.
Yeah, they're going to cut him off yet again with a Talia ultimate. He throws out the cannon barrage, but it's not going to do anything. He flashes, but the wall is still there, and Duke will fall in the end of things. Peanut finding the kill. Now, meanwhile, by this red buff, Gorilla goes forward, uses the pillar already. He's taking a hell of a lot of damage from Bang, who's just going to solo him out pretty much.
Prey has no
now
flash.
Prey, no flash, nowhere to go. SKT turned this one right on its head. The TP used an SK Telecom come out with 2 picks, only losing Duke, and they are going to start up this Baron. You can be damn sure they're going to shred that with this Azir, with this Ezreal.
I mean, they know those 3 members of ROX don't have ultimates any longer, so really risky for them to go in. And I don't know why Prey and Gorilla were at that part of the map. It had already been taken care of. The collapse onto the top side. Peanut in trouble.
Yeah, Kuro as well, getting popped by that cask right there. Tries to flash away, but the fisting shot still connects. He's just trying to throw out as much damage as he possibly can with the dreaded volley, but he is going to go down as they hand this one over to Blank. Peanut does make it out alive, but ROX make a proactive play in the top and then immediately lose so many more members off the backside.
Yeah, I wasn't watching the minimap when that occurred. It looked like Bray and Gorilla were worried about potentially them getting cut off or collapsed on, so they try and engage this, but that's all you need to do. Bang.
Just back off.
Yeah, has to QSS the arrow, and they just try and tie them up to buy time for their top lane, but you just can't do that when there's this Gragas again with the casket. Prey doesn't have flash. It's way too dangerous.
I don't know what you're doing if you're Gorilla right there. I'm not sure what goes through your head.
Well, no, if you're Gorilla, you're trying to prevent them from getting into the top side from collapsing 5 versus 3 on your teammates, but why Prey was trying to help every throughout the arrow, that's a different question.
I think throwing the pillar was...
If you trade 1 for 1, and...
Sure, if you lose only Gorilla,
yeah,
that's fine.
For Duke, yeah, you'll be fine with that, but Prey dying as well was the big mistake.
Yeah. Now SK Telecom with Baron, with the Elder Dragon, are just steamrolling their way down through this mid lane, looking for those inhibitors. The wave clear, of course, from the side of ROX is going to be pretty weak right now. Those turrets are melting. Peanut coming in with the team. This inhibitor now exposed. Is just going to get burned out by SK Telecom with little competition. And now Duke roaming down to bottom is going to get that wave moving, and SK Telecom should be able to net themselves a tier 2 on top of all of this.
Yeah, at least the tier 2. If you're a ROX fan, you'll be happy to see that at least they have tier 2s left in the side lanes, which may prevent them from getting another inhibitor, depending on the timing of this Elder Dragon, which is, against Talia's wave clear, a bit difficult to push through.
They can't even move forward to try to defend that one. Wolf coming around the side will get a good little bit of vision for the team as they move forward with what few minions they do have. Another wave is crashing now, and SK Telecom, of course, have an immense amount of hope with this Ezreal and Azir. Hell, even with the Gangplank throwing out those barrels, Peanut already getting chunked down below half HP. Smeb not able to go in for the taunt off the backside of that Unraveler, or the seismic shove, I should say. And a second inhibitor is going to fall here in favor of SK Telecom.
Backing off, and this looking like it very well could be a surprising 2-0 for SKT. When if we consider their form coming into this series, losing 3 of their last 4 best of 3s, and ROX on that 5 best of 3 winning streak is definitely a big surprise.
Well, I'm glad that I am not a gambling man, Monty, because I would have said ROX 2-1.
I would have said that as well. So I thought SKT would be in better form after a little bit of a break and after the losing streak, kicking themselves into gear, but they've been performing very well tonight overall.
Well, we hold on to our money in the end of things. That's good at least.
And we got some very good games out of it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, I'm going to see SKT coming back down now. It's just a game of seeing if the ROX Tigers can hold on. They are trying to be very proactive at the moment.
Peanuts sitting in the brush. They don't. Oh wait, they do know he's here. Faker throws in the sand soul to the check. He gets popped up by that headbutt. He's gonna take a good amount of damage now. Down below half HP. Can they finalize the kill? Yeah, he uses the onslaught of shadows to get out of there, and that's a massive part of ROX's engage gone.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be building Black Cleaver next too. He sold his Trinity Force. That is an interesting choice. Oh no, I'm crazy. Never mind. Oh, I was looking at Speb right there.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me.
I was like,
No, I was wrong.
Look at my spectator.
Nope. He's going. Speb will be going Trinity Force next, and Peanut going for some additional armor pen.
Oh, this turret now getting engaged on. Smeb splitting in the bottom side, still has Stand United available. But they need the opening. SKT are moving forward. Wolf goes in, pops up. Bray, who flashes out, isn't enough. He throws out the arrow to try to keep himself alive, trying to regen as much as he possibly can. Blank just can't get to him. He's actually able to burn through that Guardian Angel, but Smeb has fallen to the backside. In the meantime, a triple pulverize comes through from Wolf, and Kuro is going to be the one getting focused. A double kill. Now going over to Bang. Peanut's the only one left alive. I take that back. He's going to go down. Bang coming up with multiple kills, and SK Telecom T1 will take down ROX Tigers with a 2-0 here. What a great re-entry into round 2.
That's right, and 49 kills in 43 minutes in that last game. There were so many globals available that the Tigers were just willing to fight. But SKT end up on the better end of things. ROX goes for an ill-fated gank onto Duke in the top side and gets their bottom lane caught out, which turns into that dragon, or turns into the Baron and the Elder Dragon. But you know, these were pretty damn close games for a lot of it this evening, and it was a very close 2-0. Great series.
Yeah. You know, I think I figured out why it was so bloodthirsty. It's because of the Sprite. For you guys who saw the arena earlier, that everyone's holding the green glow sticks. It's from Sprite. They're doing a special here at the OGN Stadium, and they're the title sponsor of the LPL.
That's right.
So wherever Sprite goes,
the
bloodthirstiness just follows. So that's what it is.
All right. Right, you can get a Sprite sponsorship for your World Championship right now, and it will be very entertaining.
I completely agree, but look at that, SK Telecom coming back with a 2-0 win over top of ROX, who put up a very well-fought battle. But, I mean, even Kuro holding his own in that mid lane. I mean, a big part of that was getting those repeated ganks in onto Duke, but in the end, it didn't do enough. You can see the damage from Bang, just absolutely monstrous. 48,000, 10,000 more than anybody else in ROX.
Also, we really have to give a lot of credit. Again, I think the MVPs for me this series have been Faker and Blank. And again, Blank did his job. He punished the Ashe for not having flash, for being left alone. And his play in the team fights was a big part of why they were able to take them and get rid of Prey early on, as his team wasn't doing quite enough to protect him on the ROX Tigers side.
Well, SKT exploding back into round 2. Just going to try to shut up all the naysayers that have been saying that they're a team that's falling apart. So,
and they go into first place with this too. 7-3. They knock the Tigers down into the third place. They knock the Tigers down into third place.
Yep. Well, your MVP from that second game will be Bang, with a pretty monstrous kill contribution right there, 92%, the most damage in the game, and now he's going to move up the standings a little bit more as he nets himself his 5th MVP nomination.
That's right, up there, tied at number 3 with Crown and Someday. And I take that back, Achilles. Tigers go down to 4th place.
Wow, that is a big dip.
That's a big dip, but now we've had in 2 days 3 different teams in first place in this league.
Yeah.
So it's been a bit nutty.
It's just been flip-flopping back and forth. I like it.
Yeah, the field is definitely still wide open here in Korea. Take a look at some of Bang's team fighting, getting the heck out of Dodge, away from Smeb, and throwing an Essence Flux over, I guess. Help finish him off.
Yep.
This was really, I mean, Blank did most of the work on this one, honestly. Setting up the praise like, oh, I have no flash. Sad times. And then cleaning up some of these last fights, he's getting a triple kill into the base here. He's just playing way back in the corner, 1v1ing Smeb, and then shifting forward to, well, looks like he got knocked closer right there. That was actually helpful. So Kuro, give him a little shove in the right direction.
Here, end it faster. I'm done with this game. I hate playing against Faker. Take me now.
He actually did very well that game. And played really well around the side lanes. Just some excellent League of Legends tonight. Very fun to watch.
That's what we come to expect from Bang on the Ezreal. Of course, so we have an interview with both of our MVPs. We're going to throw over to Joel for the translation. Joel, take it away.
Thank you very much, guys. We're here with today's MVPs, Faker and Bang for SK Telecom.
승리의 주역인 MVP 선수들 만나서 얘기를 나눠볼게요. 큰 박수로 맞이해주세요.
Give them a big round of applause.
네, 페이커 선수, 뱅 선수 승리 축하드립니다.
Congratulations on your win, guys.
승리 소감 한 말씀 부탁드립니다.
Give us a comment on the win.
네, 저희가 1라운드 끝에 많이 부진하면서
We were having bad performances at the end, near the end of round 1, and we were really worrying about that. I'm glad we were finally able to recover and really show ourselves again in round 2. As you mentioned, a lot of people were saying that SK Telecom wasn't playing their game near the end of round 1. What are your comments on that?
원래 1라운드 초중반에는 그냥
At the early stages of round 1,
됐는데
we did what we were supposed to do.
많이 이기긴 해도
But after winning so many games, I think some of our mental issues came in, and I think it really turned us down near the end of round 1.
평가를 받아서 그런지 잘리는 경우도 많고 그런 점에서 애쉬 진, 애쉬가 참
We saw instead of the popular severe pick, we saw more of the Ashe Jhin combination. What are some of your comments on that?
딜하는 캐릭터는 좀 아닌 것 같고요. 그냥
With Jhin, it's very conditional where, if you get a very good early start, it really helps flow the game, but it's very risky when you're not doing as well in early. But Ashe is one of the more safer choices that you can pick, and as long as you do your part, you can always have a chance to turn around the game.
잘 쏘지 않나요? 그래도
또 제가
And also getting the ult down is very important.
잘 쏘.
And I think
아까 때도
playing in game 1,
사이로 날아가더라고요.
I had a few misses on the ultimate, and I was kind of worried about that. But
네네. 저는
피넛을 잡았잖아요. 피넛을 노렸던 거 아니에요?
weren't you aiming for Peanut? No, I was just shooting all around. But
제가
overall, playing with Ashe, it was really important to hit those arrows. And
안 맞더라고요.
이 장면이죠.
this was a situation where Jhin hit it, and you hit Peanut with that.
피넛이 죽고 한타 끝나고 알았어요. 정말 정신없는 와중에
It was a very rowdy situation.
못 맞히기가 힘든 스킬이라고요?
네, 그 속도도 좀 빠르고 그리고
What I think of the Ashe's arrow ultimate is it's one of those skills that are very hard to hit, and you need to really focus hard to get it right.
준식이가 맞는 말한 것 같고
I think Bang said the right thing,
그때 사실 저도 킨드레드 맞은 줄도 몰랐고
and I didn't even know that Kindred was hit by the ult.
대기실 와서 코치님이 말씀하시더라고요.
And coach told me after the game that Kindred got hit by the arrow earlier.
드는 생각이 아즈르나 진이나 둘 중 하나만 맞추면 됐는데라는 생각이.
We just thought if he had hit Azir or Kindred, it would have been fine. But he got it, so we're happy with that.
그래도 역시 전교 1, 2등이 또 나와서 여러 가지 그게 문제였다. 그 한 문제가 문제였다.
SKT always talks about the little problems that they have within the game, and it's really impressive to see such thoughts from the SKT.
하시면서 MVP로 선정이 되셨어요. 이제 이즈리얼은 뱅의 아이콘과
Now a lot of people, after seeing so many good performances from you, that Israel is Bang's champion, and really no one else can overdo your performances on it.
다르다 이런 얘기가 자꾸 나오는 걸까요?
What are some of your comments on that?
일단 저거 그 이즈리얼이 챔피언이 좋기도 한데
I personally like Israel as a champion,
좀 많이 쓰는 것 같아서
and I see a lot of players using it nowadays. And I think it's just a popular champion overall.
얘기가 나오진 않잖아요.
But we see that other players can't play Israel as good as you.
근데 그냥 안 쓰시는 것 같아요. 다른 분들 다른
I think other players can play as well as I can, but it's just I've been lucky with my plays.
챔피언 절대 아니라고 생각해요.
And I don't think it's the best player that
아니
is out there, and I don't think it's my champion, as you said.
그냥 받아먹는
It's just one of those champions that feed off of the advantages that your teammates make,
되게 쉬운 챔피언이라
and it's a pretty easy champion to operate with.
잘 CS가
And as long as you get your CS and just do what you're supposed to do, it's a pretty safe champion to play with.
그리고 그러면 페이커 선수의 경우는
With Faker,
타이어에 대해서 여러 가지 분석 나오고 이슈도 많았어요. 과연 페이커가 쓸 것인가 아니면 타이거즈 쪽에서 쓸 것인가
we were talking about whether Talia was going to be used by you.
간 건가요?
What were your some comments on that?
탈리아 오늘 좀 나올 거라고 많이 생각했고
We expected Talia to show up today,
하고
and we practiced with that in mind.
약간 뭐 탈리아를 할 가능성이 굉장히 높다고 생각해요.
And we thought that Kuro was gonna use it in his game.
이전에 솔랭에서 많이 해보기도 했고
And I've played with it and against it in solo rank.
그 아지르 탈리아 매치업
And the Azir Talia matchup is something that was advantageous to us.
자체를 제가 좀
And with
상대방을 많이
Talia, I've faced it many times and got a lot of knowledge of the champion
라인전을 좋게 가져가서
and had a good laning phase because of it.
탈리아 얘기가 나와서 얘긴데요. 오늘 뭐 페이커 선수가 탈리아 쓰지 않겠느냐 이런 예상들이 많았었잖아요. 근데 1경기는 아지를 상대로 르블랑을 썼어요.
We thought that you would use Talia in game 1, but you used LeBlanc instead.
1경기 같은 경우에는
With the first match,
할때 약간 탈리아가
if I picked Talia,
편하게 딜을 할 수 있긴 하지만
I could poke him down in the laning phase.
밀리지 않을까라고
But I was worried that we might get pushed in the late game, and we thought that LeBlanc would have been a better pick for the overall game performance.
그리고 확실히 요즘 이제 쉔에 대한 이제 생각이 티어가 좀 내려간 것 같은 느낌.
And a lot of people are downgrading Shen as one of the top tier picks for top lane.
적으로 준비한 건가요?
Did you prepare with Shen in mind, facing in opposition?
구형이 쉔을 되게 잘 하거든요.
Duke is a very talented Shen player,
요즘 탑 뱀픽이
and he knows a lot about the champion.
하더라고요. 저는 그러니까 좀 들어도 잘 이해를 못할 것 같아요.
We heard a lot of things that Duke said about Shen,
갱플랭크도 갑자기 나오고
and when he picked Gangplank to face it,
나왔다가 뭐 헤카림도 나오고
we were thinking about multiple things that we could have, but with Hecarim coming in and Talia coming in, it was a very confusing situation for us. And it was hard to operate with that in the early game.
움직임도 있었고 실제로 고생을 꽤 많이 했어요.
We saw that
CDS를 했던 걸로 기억.
Talia was getting ahead by picking off Gangplank multiple times in the early game, and you guys were really struggling with that.
그러니까 이득이었나요 또?
끝나고 나서도 그냥 오히려 탑 보세 가서
When we ended, we really concluded by saying that the top lane struggling for us really allowed the other lanes to open up and get their advantages and eventually make all that pay off in the late game.
저희가 더 힘들 거라고 생각했는데
And we thought that Talia's ult, when it's used consistently, it would make us struggle. But we were able to fight back
뭐 그리고 데스 한거 자체
and make some good plays, and
골드 글로벌 골드에 그렇게 차이가 안
the global gold difference wasn't that too much of a disadvantage for us. So we always believed that we could come back, and we did.
그러니까 지금 이제 갱플랭크 중심으로 얘기를 하다 보니까 떠오르는 생각인데.
We're still talking about Gangplank,
올렸을 때
and when
포탄셀의 위치가 약간 좀 애매하게 떨어졌었거든요.
굴 먹다가 잘못 썼다 했어요.
귤 까먹느라 정신이 팔려서.
네.
네. 보죠.
so this was a scene.
이상했거든요. 귤 먹다가
This was pretty awkward, but what happened there?
때가 아니라 또 다른 때도 잘 봤을 텐데. 잘 모르겠어요.
I'm not sure what really happened, but it did fall off pretty weird.
장면이 맞다라는
적으로 피드백이 있었는데
And we did make an advantage out of this as much as we could, but it really was a weird situation.
그거네요. 저는 또 궁금한 게 그 2세트에서 사실 경기가 쉽지는 않았거든요.
In the second set, you guys were struggling back and forth throughout the game. And when you guys were really thought that you guys had an advantage, you guys went in really hard, but you got paid back by ROX Tigers, and ROX Tigers got their advantage.
미드랑 바텀 공존하기 위해서 그 미니언 밀고 있었는데
We were trying to use the advantage we had in mid and bot lane,
그다음에 근데 우리 바텀 그 저희가 원래
But-
제가 미드를 밀 때 4명이 물리는 경우가 거의 없는데
when in the bot lane when we were having the team fight, we didn't think that 4 of us would get caught right away,
거기서 4명이 다 죽게 된 건데
and that was an unfortunate situation for us. So it was a really dangerous time for us as a team,
잘 못한 것 같아요.
and I think it was a team mistake on our part.
네, 그러면 이제 SKT가 준비된 영상이 있다 그러거든요.
There's another clip ready for us, and let's have a look at it.
살 수 있다라고 생각하셨나요?
Did you think that you would get out of this one?
좀 커튼콜을 제가 4번째 거를 그냥 피하면 되는데 못 피해서
I always think that as long as I avoid the 4th curtain call, I will be okay.
안 쓰려고 했는데 약간
And things didn't go as well as I thought, and I had to use all my escape tools to get away. And unfortunately, I was able to get away.
대처를 또 상대가 날카롭게 했는데 오늘 정말 되는 날이라는 걸.
And I think it was one of those days that whatever you did, it worked. And next game is another big match for you guys.
뱅 선수 그 매치업에 대한 자신감.
What are your thoughts on the matchup?
저희가 이제 하루 걸러서 또 KT랑
But we have a 1-day rest and facing KT the next game.
경기를 이기면 좀
And getting a win today really did help us boost our confidence. And we want to continue with this to get a good result off of KT.
하루 걸러도 있기 때문에 이 기세를
And getting that 1-day rest should help us replenish and help us be ready enough to get a good game against KT.
왜 그러시죠? 뱅 선수가 그러시면 어떡해요? 지금 뱅 선수가 제일 잘하시는데 이런 분들이
그냥 좀 상대 팀들이 워낙
네.
잘해서
Nowadays, I'm really
졌잖아요.
experiencing a lot of teams that are much better than we had previously thought, and we took them lightly and we lost very crucial games in round 1, and I don't want to think too easily of them now, and I want to just try to get a right attitude going into the games.
페이커 선수가 현장에 지금 인터뷰도 함께 해주고 계시는 팬 여러분들께 감사의 말씀.
Faker, would you like to say a few words to the fans?
오늘 락스전 저희가 그렇게 좋은 경기력은 아니었지만
We didn't play the best
승리하게 돼서
game against ROX today, but fortunately we got the win.
많은 팬분들이 저희를
And a lot of fans cheering for us is a really big boost for us. It gives us a lot of strength,
이길 수 있게 노력하겠습니다.
and we will do our best to improve on our game as a team.
타이거전 승리가 기점이 돼서 1위를 탈환한 SKT.
And this is the end of the interview, guys. Back over to you.
Thank you very much, Joel, for the translation. But yeah, I mean, good confidence booster there for SK Telecom as they get ready to go on and face KT Rolster later this week.
Rough
But
week.
It is a rough week, but after a couple games like that, I'm very excited for it to keep on going. SKT, of course, coming up with a 2-0 victory over the ROX Tigers, but it was really close-knit the entire time. Could have gone either way pretty much at any moment.
Yeah, definitely. Really fun best of 3, and there you see the ROX Tigers drop down to 4th place while SKT ascends to number 1 yet again.
Yep. KT Rolster hot on their heels, going to be looking to take them down a notch. Perhaps find a first place spot of their own if they're able to do so. Tomorrow, of course, we do have Longzhu versus Samsung, that rematch coming up. And then CJ Entus looking quite strong after yesterday's performance with Sky and Shy on the roster, going up against MVP, who have been a very successful team despite our first glance of them at the beginning of the split. So could actually be a fairly close matchup between those two. And then rounding us out for the week, it's SK Telecom T1 versus KT Rolster. Telecom Wars will keep on going for all eternity. And then ROX Tigers versus Jin Air Green Wings. ROX going to have to bounce back after today's loss, going against Jin Air, who did not look very good yesterday. So could be a bit of a breather for ROX, but you never know. Jin Air, the Robin Hood team,
Yeah.
they could show up and find a win.
Yeah, you never know. Their performance was really pretty poor yesterday, so
Yeah.
they've also been on a bit of a downward trajectory for a while, but I am very excited about SKT KT. Always a pleasure to watch that matchup.
Be
And
a very good one.
now we've got all these weird picks that Fly has in the mid lane. KT coming off a pretty tough loss where they, I would say they lost to themselves more than anything else. But
Yeah. Well, you never know if Faker brings out the Azir. Maybe we'll see the Aurelian Soul to answer. That's going to close it out for me and Monty tonight. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow for more LCK Summer action.